Hey everybody, welcome in to Sports Live in the 215. I'm your host, Connor Okuda, and today we'll be discussing the Phillies Padres series recap. Before we jump in and dissect this series, I just have something to tell you guys that I forgot to post on Twitter. In a few hours, we'll be leaving for Ocean City, Maryland. So that'll be fun. I'll have a I'll have a Phillies Diamondback series recap when I get back home. Or I'll try to get content out as best as I can. I'll be having fun in Ocean City, so I'll try to get some content out for you guys. But I just wanted you guys to know that I'll be away for the next week. So if you don't see content over the next week, that's probably why. Um, so I hope that's all right. Anyway, let's jump. Let's um let's jump into the series. 1 second here. Um, Now, with that being said, let's jump into this series. First game, Phillies win 9-2. They absolutely dominate. They absolutely dominate the Padres in every facet. Kyle Schwarber, 2 home runs. Sanchez, 6 innings. I want to say he got 9 or 10 ground ball outs, 5 strikeouts, and what I said in the preview pod actually came true for Christopher. He was able to locate his fastball, which is which tops out at a very underwhelming 94 back in the early 90s, late 80s. If you had a pitcher with a 94 mile per hour fastball, he was considered a flamethrower. So yeah, that's just kind of how the game of baseball has changed. Uh, Now you see a guy who tops out at 94, you think of him as more of a pitch to contact type of guy. But yeah, I mean Sanchez, although he can get strikeouts if he needs them, he's a lot more of a pitch to contact guy. He was absolutely fantastic. I want to say Strom came in after him, and then it might have been Hoffman, and then Ruiz. Yeah, they all were able to close it down, and then um, one more thing to mention about Game 1: Rafael Marchand. Rafael or Rafael Marchand was 4 for 4. I want He had a nice RBI single. I want to say he had he walked on Kyle's second home run of the night. Yeah, he was great. I can't say he put down all the right fingers because teams don't use traditional signs anymore. I mean, well, they do, but not as much. But he pushed all the right buttons. He called a really good game back there. Sanchez felt really, really comfortable. He just felt in command, and that is a huge tip of the cap goes out to Rafael Marchand. And even when Marchand was at the dish, he just looked so comfortable and calm. And I guess like one thing I noticed in his post game interview after the first game was over the past like 3 years he'd been really brushing up on his English. He 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 sounded so natural. So that's nice to see. Picking up a second language is pretty hard, and he should be he definitely should he definitely should give himself some credit for that, because that's quite an accomplishment. But anyway, yeah, game one was just a great team win. It was a really solid team win. Um, so let's go to game two. With that being said, let me check the summary for game two. Um, um, Game two featured another four-hit performance. This time from this time from Nicholas. This time from Nick Castellanos, including the walk-off double that won it for the Phillies. Nola went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs. He allowed he actually started the game by going 4 1/3, perfect. The first 4 innings and then 1 out in the fifth, he was perfect. And I mean, 6 innings, 3 runs is certainly nothing to sneeze at. But this he pitched his tail off. At certain points, he just didn't have his best stuff. And then Kyle Schwarber in the bottom of the eighth inning, Kyle Schwarber hit a bomb to make it a 3-2 ball game. And then in the top of the ninth, you had Harper, Bohm, Harper, Bohm, Stott, and Castellanos all get base hits consecutively. And yeah, and then Nicky C with a big walk-off double, and then the Phillies win this series in walk-off fashion off of Robert Suarez, the Padres closer. So yeah, that was always good to see. It was cool to see was cool to see Liam, Nick Castellanos' son, with the daycare, Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott. It was cool to see them do the dumping the having him help dump that water jug on his dad's head. Yeah, that's always it's always good seeing that heartwarming stuff. And then uh, game three, um, it was it was 1-1 until the top of the eighth inning, and then the Padres offense just exploded in the. Before we get to that, in the bottom of the third, Bryce Harper hit an absolute tank. It was I, I want to. It was just an absolute shot, and it got out of here in a hurry. And yeah, so that tied the game up 1-1, and um that's where it stayed um until the eighth inning when Gregory Soto came in after Sir Anthony Dominguez, who wasn't his sharpest, but um Gregory Soto gave up a um bases clearing 3-run double to well, actually it was yeah, it was hold on. The the score was 2-1 Padres, um and then Gregory Soto came in with the bases loaded and gave up the 3-run bases clearing double, which made it 5-1 Friars, unfortunately. And um Soto just was not good. And he's, aside from that little 2.5 week stretch where he was dominant, he has not been good his entire Phillies tenure. Like, how he is still on a major league roster. I mean, I get it. He averages 97 on his fastball, so the guy can bring it. But being able to throw hard, that's all well and good. But if you get hit around, it doesn't matter how hard you throw. You could throw 120, but if it gets hit, well, you're not hitting 120, but you know what I mean. Like it's it doesn't mean a whole lot, and unfortunately, the Phillies the Phillies got they've gotten the bad version of Gregory Soto for the majority of his 2 seasons here. They made a Bryce Harper 2 home run game feel absolutely useless, and they wasted a superhuman effort. And the Phillies have left, I want to say something like 11 or 12 men on base on the Wednesday matinee. So yes, that's very disappointing, and they got the National League champions coming into town, so we have to tighten up, because regardless of Arizona's record, we we saw it in the playoffs last year. When they need a clutch hit, they'll be able to get it. So we we have got to be we've we've just we've got to watch out for the Diamondbacks, because I know it's only June, but it feels like they're getting desperate. And there's nothing more dangerous than a desperate team with nothing to lose. when when teams have yeah, so hopefully hopefully the Phillies can kind of lock it down. And yeah, I'll um I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter when the next episode will be. um I'll probably bring my computer. So for right now, let's just say it will be on Sunday following the Phillies Diamondback series. All right. If I see you guys then, have a good weekend. If I don't, um, ha- have a have a good week. But I hope I I I'll probably record a another podcast. So um just keep as of right now, we'll say that I will be doing a Phillies Diamondbacks um series recap podcast um on Sunday following the game. But until then, be well, stay safe, have a have a good day on this beautiful Friday morning. And until then, take care, guys.